Okay, Gianni, welcome. I hope that you were able to pick up your chapter 2 notes. If not, we're going to go over them. We're going to start them today. And if you can get those picked up at the office, that would be great. The sooner you get them, the better off you're going to be. Okay? Okay. Adam,
Yes, sir.
you're just going to have to get caught up here. And I'd like you to do that cleanup quietly.
Yes, sir.
And that doesn't mean everybody else around him has to be laughing right now. It's not a funny issue. Okay, so not Cam, but Gianni, we're going to go ahead and get started here with chapter 2. So let me click this up here. And Gianni, I'm not sure what's going on. Have the teachers been having problems with this today?
Yes, sir. Nope. No.
Maybe it's just simple enough to turn it on, huh? Okay, Jenna, I think that's what it was. The TV was turned off. Okay? Okay, because there it is. Okay. New chapter. Now let me say this about your test. Okay? The grade you got is what you deserve. I mean, you earned. Okay? But if you want to correct your answers and turn it back in, I'll give you an average grade. Okay? But I need to have that tomorrow. Matter of fact, any redos that you do, they need to be turned in that next day. Otherwise, your grade stays as is. Okay? Landon?
I got 90, and what if I correct them all over 100?
No, you'd get a 99. So 1 point doesn't necessarily make a lot of difference, but then sometimes it may in the end. But it's up to you. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I was grading quiz 3 from our class, and every single person got one wrong, and it was in every single one. Because the answer was C, but everyone put A, and then everybody got a wrong in the entire class.
Okay. I'll look at it then.
Huh?
I'll just look at it then.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, though. Okay, let's go ahead and get this rolling here. Now, there it is. Okay, chapter 2, The Amazing Mammals. Turn. Okay. Warm and fuzzy ones. Okay. Got some writing to do this time. Like I told you, I changed my notes just a little bit. Okay. But basically it's the same way we did last time. Okay. And we may or may not get through each lesson. That's okay. We'll just finish it the next day or whatever. Okay. So this is what they call animals with backbones. They call them vertebrates. Now, easy way to remember that name is because you have vertebrae running down your back. Okay? So if you reach back if you can reach up in the middle and you just kind of press on feel your spine, each of those little lumps that you feel is what is a vertebrae. Okay? And so animals that have that backbone running down their back are called vertebrates. Okay? Okay. So in this picture, you've got a duck, you've got an eagle, you've got a raccoon, a giraffe, a dinosaur, and a fish. Okay? How many have ever tried to take the bones out of a fish?
Oh,
It's not easy.
so fun.
Okay? It's not easy. And if you do it just right, and you cut its gut open and spread him out, if you do it just right, you can take the top by the head and just pull the whole skeleton out. But you've got to cut it right, and you got to pull it just right. Otherwise, the bones break off, and if they break off, then sometimes they're hard to find in the meat. So you got to be very careful. Shane?
What page are we on?
What page are you on? One of the notes. So that would be page 32 of your books. Okay? So we're just on page 1 of your note. Okay? That was number 1. The group of animals with a backbone. Yes?
This is 3 on 1.
No, it doesn't. It says 1. Okay. I'm not sure what happened there. Somebody may have a page 1 on their back on the back side of their notes, but that's okay. Okay, so that's what an animal's called with a backbone, a vertebrate. Here's some characteristics of mammals. Okay? Mammals are, first of all, they're warm-blooded. Okay? Warm-blooded basically is saying that it needs an outside source to keep its body warm. Okay? They're warm-blooded. A little bit of writing today, so stay with me, pay attention. And if you have not turned in chapter 1 notes, you need to turn that in. Okay? And preferably today. Okay? Now I'm in the process of getting all the papers graded and getting this sheet updated for you. But bear with me just a little bit longer, okay? Matter of fact, I've got all the papers I think that I have graded. I just need to get you got them back today. I just need to update that sheet. Cameron, yes, you can bring it up here. Okay, so first of all, they are warm-blooded. Okay, thank you. Okay, next, they have backbones. Okay, so any animal that you see with a backbone, those are mammals. Okay, letter C. They produce milk. And we're going to find out that to produce the milk, they have what's called a mammary gland. Okay, so the mammary gland is what produces the milk. Yes, ma'am.
We have backbones, so we're a mammal.
Well, we're going to talk about that too. Okay. But to give you a little hint to that question, no, we're not. Okay? And there's a reason, and we'll explain that a little bit later, okay? Well, I'll tell you what. You've asked the question. I don't want to leave you hanging on it. We're not mammals because mammals refer to animals. Okay? And when God created creation, He created animals and He created man. Man has bones like an animal, and so God used similar structures to create other structures or have other, like the animals. They have the bones, they have the limbs, the legs, they have the arms, or they have 4 limbs, okay? And so the body structure, quote, is similar, okay? But what the difference is that man has a soul and a spirit, because man was created in the image of what? Okay? Was created in the image of God. Animals were not created in the image of God. Okay, so that's the biggest difference between us and animals. Okay? Even though there's a lot of similarities, the biggest difference is that we have a soul, we have a spirit, we're created in the image of God. We're going to be held accountable for our reasoning, our choices, whereas animals, they're not held accountable for choices that they make. Okay? So that's basically the difference between a man and a mammal, in a nutshell. Okay? But for many years, man was classified as a mammal because of these characteristics. Okay? But that's the difference. Okay? Adam.
Oh, what if he did not have no backbone?
Can anybody else answer that? Exactly.
Would be dead?
Well, no, not necessarily. Josiah, put that into words.
Because you don't have a backbone, then you would just be like an octopus. Octopus don't have they aren't vertebrates. You could just like one of those limbs that are at the store, just be everywhere.
Okay. You would be just like a human pool of
So if this was you would be
whatever.
like that,
There'd be no structure.
like that.
You'd be like a pool of water, only flesh. Because there'd be no structure. The bones, the skeleton is what gives you the structure, gives us the structure.
Do some people in the world have no backbones?
Some people have less backbones, some people break their backbones. Some people have had their backbones soldered together, so then because they broke it. But when you hear the words "you don't have a backbone," that just means that you don't have the capability of standing up for yourself.
So like you have
But that's just a figure of speech. Okay? That's okay. Okay, so we produce milk. Okay, or they do, mammals do. They breathe with lungs. Get that down.
What do you want me to do with the Bible?
What are you doing?
Huh?
Graded?
Yeah, I don't have any of the Bible.
Okay. It's the top notebook, Proverbs notebook,
On what? Oh, on the top?
on the little shelf thing with all the
Oh,
rest of the.
binders?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And in there you'll see a section test papers or test materials, and then answer key inside the notebook. I think you'll see it when you get there. Okay.
Mr. Brown, this one doesn't like me. Yeah. Her name is Tony. She's God. God. What?
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you. Okay. So they breathe with lungs just like we do. Okay. So that's another similarity, but that's not. We're not like them. They have hair. Okay. They have hair. We have hair. Okay. But that is part of. Go ahead and pick it up. Throw it away. This is another characteristic of a mammal. They have hair. Hope everybody's getting this down. Hope I'm not going too fast.
Shane has a lot of hair.
Does it matter? Does it matter? Okay. Guys, I need you to think about what you're saying. Okay? And if it doesn't need to be said, then don't say it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Brown.
Okay? They have 4 limbs. Okay? Some of them are 2 legs or 4 legs. Some of them are 2 legs and they have 2 arms. Okay? Monkeys. And yet, monkeys will a lot of times walk on all 4, even though there's 2 and 2. But they have 4 limbs. Limbs are just the extension from the main body source. Okay? They give birth to live young. Okay? Now, that doesn't, I'm not saying, we're not saying this that animals give birth to dead babies. Okay? It happens because of irregularities or something went wrong through the development of the baby, but you know, a lot of times, like a horse, it doesn't lay eggs, but it gives birth to a colt, a live one that looks like the mother or the father. Okay, looks like a horse when it's born. Okay, so that's what we're talking about is live young. Okay, and even when the eggs hatch, it's live, and they look like their parents. When animals are born, okay, they like to choose where they like to live. Your parents have chose to live here in California. Your parents have chose to live in this area, Banning, Beaumont, Hemet, this area, or why are we talking? Or Morongo, or someplace in this area. That's your family's habitat. Okay? Get a little bit more specific. Where they chose to buy a house or where you go as to home. That's your family's habitat. Well, with animals, it's the same scenario. They choose where they want to live. Now, there's certain things that help to make their choices, okay? It could be because of their food source. It could be because there's a lot of predators there and they don't want to be the easy prey, okay? Or it may be because of weather, cold or too hot, too windy, whatever. So they move to a place where they feel comfortable to live. So the kind of place that an animal prefers to live is what's called a habitat. Okay? Tony. So Jenny, one of the Tony, to be specific, needed me to go back to this slide so he could get a couple answers. Okay, so just a minute, and we'll go on. Shh. You got it? Shh. Quiet. Coming back to it, it's habitat. Habitat. To change it when we get there. Are you done yet? Okay, guys, this is a good time to talk about this. Okay? Put it on. Maybe it'll help you be quiet. And keep it on. Where's your mask? Get the masks on, guys. Okay, now, I know God gave you a brain, okay? And I'm not trying to be ridicule, I'm not trying to criticize you or ridicule you about that. But God gave you a brain where you can think about two things maybe, okay, versus just one. When you are copying these down, I think you can look up there and say warm-blooded, and you put warm-blooded. You don't have to look. You don't have to go warm-blooded. You don't have to go have backbones. You don't have to go breathe with lungs. Okay, that's what takes time. Gather your thoughts. Look at what you're writing. They're warm-blooded, so you just write warm-blooded down. You can remember that for a little bit. I would think so. Okay. On the last part, the last one, a few more words. Okay. So you just say, you break it up. If you can't do it all at once, give birth to live young. Then break it up into segments. Give birth to live young. Okay? Make it easy, but you're still getting it down. Okay? And you're still on a good pace. Okay? And I'm not being critical what you're doing, but he's looking at every word. Okay? And that's what's taking so much time. So, group your words together. Write them down. Okay, can we go on? Tone? Can we go on? Thank you. Okay. Cam, Maran. There it is. Habitat. Make sure you got it down. Gavin. No. Okay, sorry. Not now. You guys should have done that when you came in. But right now we're in the middle of class. Okay? I'm sorry. Okay, number 4. The various limbs, okay, that are of mammals, okay? Each mammal has the kind of limbs it needs to enable it to hop, to swim, to fly, to glide, to trot, to prance, to dig, or even just to climb in its habitat. Okay? So in God's creation, he created the animals, the mammals in this case, with their specific kind of legs. Some are long, some are short and stout. Okay? It wouldn't have been God's creation if he created a mouse with a horse's legs on it. Okay? For one, the mouse couldn't get into its crevices like it does. Okay? And if the horse had reversed it, had the mouse's legs, it would take forever to run around the track or across the pasture. Okay? So for whatever, leave my camera alone. So for whatever, you're accidentally hitting it. Something is. Or you're hitting my cart or something. It's shaking. Okay? So, okay, that's fine. Now, so God gave the mammals the kind of legs that it needs to survive. Okay? A deer has special legs that allows it to jump and dodge and all over the place, jump over fences quickly. Able to stop on a dime and turn, okay, to avoid a predator or something else. Okay? So it has given them their special kind of legs. And we're going to be talking about some of these as we go. He used the same, and this is kind of what we started talking about. God has used the same kind or the basic pattern, okay, and a similar number of bones for each kind. Okay? Now, just because God put the same kind of bones in creatures doesn't mean that we are the same. Okay? Look at these. You have a crocodile. Okay? It has a backbone, a lot more vertebrae than what we do. Okay? But it's still going down its back. It has ribs, it has legs, it has phalanges, the toes and the fingers, okay, up here, okay? But look at the style of bones that are here. Now look at the cow. It has a backbone, okay, ribs. There's more bones of the legs, okay? The chicken, same scenario. It has a backbone, it has ribs, it has legs, okay? And then you look at the fish. It doesn't have legs, but it still has the backbone, okay? It still has what would be the, kind of looks like the ribs coming off the vertebrae, okay, the backbone. And then it's got bones coming down here in its fins, okay? So there's a similarity of what God has used to create other things. Okay? Why does he do this? Because it helps us to understand him. It helps us to understand his creation. Okay? And better his creation. Okay? Are you shaking your foot? Because I can feel it. Someone up here is moving their feet around. Okay? Okay. So, anyway, that's going to conclude us today. Actually, we'll just stop there today. Okay, Gianni, that's where we are. So, if you haven't picked up your notes from the office, and there's some papers there too, make sure you do that and get that all picked up as soon as possible. And we're going to continue on with tomorrow, okay? Have a great day, Gianni. Bye. Okay. Okay.